Hey you, yes you. The odds of you not being subscribed to the channel are very high, so if you haven't already, it would mean the world if you'd subscribe if you're new and join the Woods crew to help me go full time. Hope you all enjoy this one. Woods out. If you have been keeping up with Bradley Beal and all the talks surrounding him this past year, you know that this man is not one to stay quiet, and he will definitely put it out there if he is ever discontent with the situation that he is in. And it's safe to say that he is not afraid of what the media has to say about it. We saw it last year when Beal was playing at the highest level he possibly could and the Wizards still couldn't win. And Beal let everyone know that he was anything but content. Honestly, we see this more often than people think in the league now. Players who just want to win at the highest level but can't seem to do so with the team they have. And more often than not, we see these players leave their teams to go win elsewhere. We saw Kevin Durant leave Russell Westbrook to join the Warriors and win. And besides the hate, I'd say that it has worked out pretty good for Kevin Durant, especially if he's able to win a ring in Brooklyn, because there's no doubt in my mind if he does that, all the hate will disappear completely. But now we are looking at a very similar situation to KD leaving Russ and Bradley Beal, because the Wizards are far from a contending team at the moment at least, and it seems like Bradley Beal is in the exact same situation as last year. So today we will be discussing why Bradley Beal maybe, just maybe, could demand a trade and go elsewhere if he wants to win, unless the Wizards make some serious adjustments, and what those adjustments are that could elevate this Wizards team to the next level. But before we get into the video, let me just say that this is a lot of speculation, being that Bradley Beal seemed like he was so close to requesting a trade in the past. Could the Beal and Westbrook duo work out if they both stay in Washington? Definitely, but they need a different group of role players around them than they have right now. And many people believe they won't be able to get what the team needs in time before Bradley Beal gets fed up to the point of demanding a trade. And let me just say that I know we haven't seen a lot of games from the Wizards at this point, but I think we have seen enough to make some general assumptions. Also, if you enjoy this video, it would be absolutely clutch if you could subscribe if you're new and leave a like below, because it really does help out the channel in a big way. But with all that being said, let's just get right into the Wizards and the situation that they are in right now as we speak. To say that the Wizards have been off to a slow start this year is an absolute understatement, because looking at their 2-6 record is not a very good sight for any NBA fan, but in particular Wizards fans. The only wins that the Wizards have had are against the Timberwolves, which really hurt my heart to watch as a Wolves fan because we just played so bad, and another win being against the Nets, which was impressive but only a 1-point win. It's safe to say that if this game was played again 10 times, the Nets would win almost all of these in my opinion. But let's just talk about Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, because they are the focal points to this team as well as the key to winning. If you watched the Wizards-Sixers game the other night, Bradley Beal did everything possible he could have done to get the win for Washington. I mean, in 3 quarters, the man scored a staggering 37 points, which is a flat-out MVP level play. He closed the night with 60 points and nearly helped the Wizards come back from a 21-point deficit against the Sixers, who have the best record in the NBA as we speak. But the fact is, the Wizards couldn't win, and even if they came close, it really doesn't matter because we all know Bradley Beal is not going to go out and drop 60 bombs every night. But the crazy part is, the Wizards should have won this game statistically with this 60-point game from Beal, and I'm not just saying that. Let's just take a look at the stats. In the past 20 seasons, 60-point scorers or more had a combined record of 19-3, which shows that it is very hard to lose a game in which a player scores 60 points. But the Wizards managed to do this, and Beal was far from happy. But the crazy part is, this is literally nothing new, which kind of gives Bradley Beal the right to be angry. In the 2019-20 season, the Wizards lost 11 games in which they scored more than 120 points, 5 in which they scored at least 130 points, and 1 in which they scored a staggering 158 points in regulation alone. This stat is just mind-blowing to me because it just shows how bad the Wizards defense is, and that the fact that they need to make changes ASAP. And it's clear that they did not do so over the offseason, which is really painful to see from not even a Wizards fan perspective. I can't even imagine what you guys are going through right now. Bradley Beal managed to drop 40 points in 10 games last season, and the Wizards lost 9 out of the 10. Wow. When I saw this, I had to double check, and it's true, which makes this Washington situation so bad for Beal that I would not be surprised if he demands a trade. Bradley Beal just went off for 60 points against the Sixers, and Beal put the Wizards on his back for 3 quarters. It was the Wizards' terrible defense that led to yet another L, and the Wizards' offense was only able to put up 5 points in the final 4 minutes of the game. Another MVP type game by Beal wasted. And with the Wizards at 2-6, it's looking like this might be another wasted season for Bradley Beal. That is, unless he demands a trade, or the Wizards get some good pieces to surround him. Honestly, I think that it's pretty crazy that Bradley Beal hasn't requested a trade yet because of the fact that he's one of those guys that just wants to win. But I suppose there are many players like Giannis, Karl Anthony Towns, and Devin Booker who have not been in winning situations but are just that loyal. And it's no secret that Bradley Beal is extremely loyal, which means that he will tolerate the L's, but at what point is it just too much for him? He delayed his free agency until 2022 when he signed an extension in 2019, sacrificing a year of flexibility to give Washington peace of mind as it attempted to put a contending caliber roster around him. That obviously has not happened yet, which is why unless the Wizards make some moves soon, Bradley Beal might just request a trade soon. Last season, the Wizards were number 29 in the NBA on defense last season, giving up a staggering 114.7 points per 100 possessions. But the harsh truth is they've been even worse this season, allowing 115.2 points per 100 possessions even before Philadelphia dropped 141 on them a few days ago. This is just not a good sign for the Wizards, but there have already been many talks of Bradley Beal trades, so I just wanted to go more in depth on what the Wizards could do to get a better core around Beal and allow him to stay, and actually give the team a chance to win. Then we will dive into the decision that Bradley Beal has to make soon, or else his talent will continue to be wasted. I believe at the moment what the Wizards need the most right now are inexpensive backcourt fillers who can keep the Wizards game alive while Bradley Beal and Westbrook are on the bench, as well as getting some stability at the wing. It's clear that the Wizards need help on their defensive end of the ball, and especially the wing. There are a bunch of solid guys who excel in their role that they could trade for. The best option in my eyes though is OG Anunoby of the Raptors. OG is a great defender on the wing and has the ability to be one of the leading scorers on the team if needed, which is exactly why I believe he would be the perfect fit for the Wizards, as well as the fact that the Raptors are struggling big time as of lately, and I could definitely see them parting with OG if it means they get some draft capital to set them up to go full rebuild mode. I would much rather have the Wizards get someone like Robert Covington, Jeremy Grant, or Matisse Thybulle, but all those guys are playing in their roles great with the teams they are on, and their teams are thriving. So honestly, I can't really see any of them getting traded, which is why I put OG on the top of the list. I know they have Deni, who is definitely a great talent, but I think if they just got one more player who could defend the wing coming off the bench, or even starting over Deni, that would help the team out way more than people think. As far as guards go, any two-way guards that can come off the bench would help this squad a ton. The number one option they may be able to trade for that I believe would be the best fit in this role is Kris Dunn of the Hawks. I could definitely see the Hawks willing to part with Dunn if they get something good in return, being that they already have Rajon Rondo. Or could we even maybe see them willing to give up Rondo instead of Dunn? Potentially. The Hawks are stacked at the guard position, and it's no secret that they want some more assets, so this trade could definitely happen. But if the Wizards fix some of these issues, there is no doubt in my mind the team as a whole would take a leap and be able to win some games for sure if Beal and Westbrook play at the highest level they can. But the odds of the Wizards making any moves just seem slimmer and slimmer as time goes on, which leads me to believe that Bradley Beal will get traded soon. With that being said, if the Wizards don't make any moves and continue to lose, we could definitely see a Bradley Beal trade coming. And I think that we are a lot closer to this point than people think, because the fact is, Beal refused to speak with the media after Washington got off to an 0-4 start and made it clear that losing despite a career-high 60-point outing has only added fuel to the fire when he said this: "I'm pissed off," Beal told reporters after the game. "I'm mad. I don't count them. Any of my career highs. They've all been losses. So I don't give a damn. You can throw it right out the window just with the other 2 or 3 I've had. I just want to win." Let's be real. Bradley Beal has to decide whether loyalty to Washington or winning is more important to him. Because if he's set on finishing his career in Washington, he might not ever be able to win at the highest level. And he also has to think about the fact that Russell Westbrook's enormous contract limits their financial flexibility immensely. They already lost a first-round pick to that trade, and there are no defensive upgrades that appear imminent. The Wizards are running out of time to build a core capable of making Bradley Beal a winner, because right now, they aren't even close. I think I'm gonna save Bradley Beal trade destinations for next video, so let me know below, where do you think Bradley Beal will end up if he gets traded? As well as which winning team do you think he would be the best fit for? I'll give you a little spoiler on my thoughts. If Beal gets traded to Miami or Denver, both of those teams are instantly favorites to make it to the finals and maybe even win it all. But we will get into all of that in a video next week. Regardless of where, I really do hope that Bradley Beal is able to win at the highest level soon, because at this moment, it just seems like his talent is being wasted. And that is just something I hate to see, and that I do see a lot being a Timberwolves fan. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, it would be literally clutch if you could subscribe if you're new and join the Woods crew, as well as leaving a like down below. As crazy as it is, that's legitimately all it takes for me to go full time. But regardless, I appreciate all you guys still watching. I'll catch you all on the next one. Woods out.